In this chapter, we are going to learn what are orthogonal trajectories and how to find orthogonal trajectories. Orthogonal trajectories are very important in mathematics and physics. Basically, the word orthogonal means perpendicular. Orthogonal trajectories are family of curves that intersects a given family of curves at right angles. Now, what do we mean by intersection of two family of curves? Suppose this is one curve and this is another curve. The angle of intersection between the two curves means the angle between the tangents of the two curves at the point of intersection. For example, suppose this is the tangent to this curve A and to the curve B. Let us assume this is the tangent at the point of intersection. Then this angle theta between the tangents is the angle of intersection between the two curves at the point of intersection. Let us call this point as O. So what do we mean by orthogonal trajectories? Orthogonal trajectory means at the point of intersection the angle between the tangents or the angle between the curves should be 90 degrees. Now it is important to note that when we talk about orthogonal trajectories, we talk about two family of curves. We have a given family of curves and we are going to find another family of curves which intersects the given family of curves at right angles. For example, let us take a family of circles. Now if this is a family of circles, by common sense you can see that this family of straight lines which passes through the center of the circle are orthogonal trajectories to the given family of circles, because for all the circles in the given family, the straight lines, any of the straight lines intersects at 90 degree, because to the circle the tangent would be like this and the straight line is straight, so its tangent is same as the straight line and the angle of intersection is 90 degrees, you can see. And for all the point of intersection of all the lines with all the circles of that family, at any point of intersection the angle is 90 degrees. This is what we mean by orthogonal trajectories. Now since the circle is a simple shape, we found its orthogonal trajectories by just inspection. We just guessed that the straight lines would be orthogonal to the circles. What about an ellipse or any other figure for which we want to find the orthogonal trajectories? Now since these are very important in mathematics and physics, we have to have some steps to find the equation of the orthogonal trajectories to a given family of curves. So these are the steps. First, we have been given a family of curves in implicit form. Let us say gxyc equal to 0. This family of curves is in the xy plane or the two-dimensional plane and c is a parameter. Now why the parameter is there? Because this equation doesn't represent a single curve but a family of curves, and by changing the value of c we can obtain all the curves of that family. For example, we can write x square plus y square equal to c as a family of circle with center at origin. Now you can see that the square root of c is the radius of the circle, because we know that the general equation of circle is x square plus y square equal to r square. So here square root of c is the radius, and we can see by changing the value of c we can obtain many circles with the center at same point at the origin, and this equation we can write in implicit form as x square plus y square minus c equal to 0, which is in the same form as g of xyc equal to 0. So a given family of curves in two-dimensional plane xy plane can be represented in this form gxyc equal to 0, where c is a parameter, and these family of curves are called one parameter family of curves. Now in the problem this would be given. In the next step we would differentiate this gxyc, the implicit equation, both sides with respect to x, and obtain y dash while eliminating the parameter c. In this step, we will see how to do it while solving the problems. So then we will differentiate this equation both sides with respect to x and find y dash or dy by dx as a function of xy, f of xy. Let us see how to do that with this circle. So we can differentiate this equation both sides, and the left hand side would be 2x plus 2y dy by dx, or y dash equal to, c is a constant, so its derivative would be 0. This implies y dash equal to minus x divided by y. We saw that this is in the same form as this, and here f of xy is minus x by y. So we have found minus x by y. Now in the next step, we assume that this y tilde x represents the y coordinate of the orthogonal trajectory equation. We know from basic mathematics that if one straight line has a slope of m1 and another straight line has a slope of minus 1 by m1, then those are perpendicular to each other, because their slopes when multiplied gives us minus 1. So for two straight lines to be perpendicular to each other, their slopes when multiplied should give us minus 1. Here this y dash represents the slope of the tangent to the curve g of xyc equal to 0. So this gives slope of tangent. Then its orthogonal trajectory should have a slope of tangent that is inverse of this with a negative sign. For example, as we saw here, that the first straight line has slope m1 and the second straight line should have slope 1 by m1 with a negative symbol attached to it. So here the first family of curves has the slope of the tangent y dash equal to f of xy. So the second family or the orthogonal trajectory would have the slope of tangent minus 1 by f of xy. When multiplied these two, we should get minus 1, because the slope of the tangents should multiply to give us minus 1, because the tangents are perpendicular to each other at the point of intersection. Now do not get confused by this y tilde and y symbol here. This is only there because we want to differentiate between the two family of curves. The first family has the independent variable x and the dependent variable y. Second family has the independent variable x, the same x, because independent variables, we don't care about the independent variables, and the dependent variables are y tilde. So that we can represent both of the families in a single xy plane. So if this is the xy plane, this first curve has x and y coordinates, and the second curve has same x from here, independent variable, but different y coordinate. So this axis is y and y tilde. We are representing both the graphs in the same coordinate system. That is why we are taking two different notations for the y coordinate. So while solving the problems also, we are going to take y tilde for the orthogonal trajectories and y for the original family of curves. Now we have found out this differential equation of the orthogonal trajectories. Mind you that this was the differential equation for the original family of curves. This is the ODE, which when solved gives us the general solution, this one. So this ODE, if we solve to get its general solution, then that would be this one. So now from the ODE of the original family of curves, we have found the ODE of the orthogonal trajectories. Now we can solve this ODE to find the equation of the family of orthogonal trajectories. Now we know that while solving the ODE, we would get the general solution where there would be a constant of integration, and that constant of integration would be the parameter for orthogonal trajectories, and by replacing various values of that constant of integration, we can obtain the family of the orthogonal trajectories. We will see how to find the orthogonal trajectories using these steps that I have described just now while solving the problems. Let us see how to do step 3 and step 4 for this family of circle with center at 0, 0. So we have the differential equation for the family of circles, which is y dash equal to minus x by y. Now y tilde dash, or the slope of the orthogonal trajectories, would be negative of this inversed. So negative of minus x by y is x by y, and by inversing it we get y tilde by x. So this is the ODE for the orthogonal trajectories. Now by solving this ODE, we can obtain the family of the orthogonal trajectories, which is step 4. This is from step 3. In step 2, we obtained the differential equation for the original family of curves. In step 3, we found the differential equation for the orthogonal trajectories, and in step 4, we will solve that differential equation to find the family of the orthogonal trajectories. Now let us solve it. We have dy by y equal to dx by x from here, because we can write this y tilde dash as dy tilde dash by dx, and this y can be taken to the left hand side and dx can be taken to the right hand side to separate the variables, and we can integrate this. Left hand side we have natural log of y tilde, and right hand side we have natural log of x plus a constant of integration, let us say c1, and by manipulating this we can obtain y tilde equal to c x, and we see that this is the equation of a straight line passing through the origin 0, 0. We have already discussed that for a family of circles, the corresponding orthogonal trajectories are straight lines which pass through the center of those circles. For these circles, x square plus y square equal to c, the center was at origin. That is why the corresponding ODEs are straight lines which pass through origin or pass through the center of the circle. This is what we have obtained. So y tilde equal to cx are family of straight lines with slope c, and these straight lines pass through the origin. And by changing the value of c, we can obtain various straight lines of the family of straight lines. For the original family of circles, by changing the value of c, we can obtain various circles with the center at the same point 0, 0, but with varying radius like this. But all the circles have a common property that those circles pass through the origin 0, 0, and the corresponding orthogonal trajectories are straight lines with varying slope, because by changing the value of c, we can obtain straight lines of different slope like this. But these have the property that those straight lines, they pass through the origin or the center of the circles. So we see what we have guessed originally, we found the same thing by following these steps. We will learn more about how to follow these steps to find orthogonal trajectories to more complicated family of curves while solving the problems. Now let us go ahead and solve the problems. In problems 1 to 3, the question is asking us to represent the given family of curves in the form gxyc equal to 0 and sketch some of the curves. Problem 1. All ellipses with foci minus 3 and 3 on the x-axis. So this is the representative diagram of the ellipse that is given in the question. Let me explain. In the question it is given that the foci are present at minus 3 and 3 on the x-axis, which we have shown at this point and this point. So the coordinates of the foci are minus 3, 0 and 3, 0, and both the foci are present on the x-axis. Now we know that the center of the ellipse is in the midpoint between the two foci. So the center will be of course at 0, 0, because the foci are at minus 3 and plus 3. This point is called the vertex, and the distance from the center to the vertex is called the major radius of the
ellipse. This point is called the co-vertex of the ellipse, and the distance from the center to the co-vertex is called the minor radius, which is represented by B. So A is the major radius and B is the minor radius, and the distance from the center of the ellipse to the focus, let us call that C. For this ellipse, the general equation will be x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1, and we have the property that c square equal to a square minus b square, where c is the distance from the center to the focus. Either of the focus, the distance is the same. We can see here from 0 to 3 the distance is 3, so here c is 3. Also from 0 to minus 3 the distance is 3. A is the major radius, so this distance is A, B is the minor radius. So in this relation, A is the major radius and B is the minor radius. Now this equation is the general equation of an ellipse with center at 0, 0 or at the origin. Now we have to represent this equation in the form of gxyc equal to 0. That means with one parameter c. Here you can see that we can write this a square as c square plus b square from this equation. So let us write that. From here we can write x square divided by c square plus b square plus y square divided by b square equal to 1. We have the value of c here, which is 3, which is the distance from the center to either of the focuses. So this implies x square by 9 plus b square plus y square by b square equal to 1. We can see now this equation has a x variable, which is the independent variable, a y, the dependent variable, and one parameter b. So this is already similar to the form gxyc equal to 0, which is a one parameter equation, and this represents a family of ellipses with center at origin and focus at minus 3 and 3 on the x-axis. With change in the variable b, we can obtain a family of those ellipses. Now let us represent this equation in implicit form. So for that we can write x square b square plus y square whole into 9 plus b square minus b square whole into 9 plus b square equal to 0. We have rearranged the terms in this equation to represent this equation in the form gxyc equal to 0. That means we have taken all the non-zero terms to the left hand side and kept the 0 on the right hand side. Now this is the g of x, y, c term, and right hand side has a 0 in it. And now we will plot these ellipses using SageMath. This program will plot the ellipses that we have derived in the problem. Let me explain this program. In the first statement, variable xy, we have defined the variables x and y. In the second sentence, we have plotted the points minus 3, 0 and 3, 0. That means the focuses of the ellipses. The size command increases the size of the points so that it is visible. The color command is obvious. It plots the points in red. Now this whole command point minus 3, 0, size 10, color red. This command plots the point minus 3, 0 in the xy plane, and the second command plots the point 3, 0 in the xy plane, and we have added them and assigned them to a variable a, so that now the a variable holds both the points, and when we call the a variable to plot, it will plot both the points. Same logic below. In the implicit plot command, we have written the gxyc term of our equation, that is this left hand side, which is xb square plus y square whole into 9 plus b square minus b square multiplied by 9 plus b square. You can see here x square multiplied by b square plus y square multiplied by b square plus 9 minus b square multiplied by b square plus 9. Only the left hand side, we don't need to write the 0 term. So the gxyc term we have written here. Then we have defined the x and y range for which we want to plot the graph. So we want to plot these ellipses in the x and y range of minus 10 to 10 and 10 to 10. So now when we will plot, we will only be shown x range of minus 10 to 10 and y range of minus 10 to 10 in the x and y plane. Axis equal to true shows us the x and y axis. If we don't write this command, then only the ellipses will be shown and the axis will be invisible. Now this for command, this for loop is a loop which runs repeatedly and puts in various values of b starting from 0 till 7 with increment of 1 and uses each value of b in this implicit plot command. So in the first loop, b value of 2 will be used in this equation. So all the b terms that are written here will be replaced by 2 and the corresponding ellipse, which is x square plus 2 square plus y square plus 2 square plus 9 plus 2 square plus 2 square plus 9, that ellipse will be plotted. In the next loop, 2 will be incremented by 1 and then 3 will be used in this command, then 4 will be used, and accordingly it will go from 2 till 7, not including 7. So it will go from 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 ellipses will be plotted starting from 2 and till 7, but not including 7. And all these ellipses are stored in the temp variable, which is assigned to a variable, and then a variable which previously held the points and now holds the ellipses will be added together, and finally the a variable is plotted in the last command. So the a variable holds the 5 ellipses and the points, and when we press evaluate, the points, the focuses, 2 points and the ellipses all will be plotted. The 5 ellipses and the 2 focuses shown in red dots are plotted in the xy plane. These are the family of ellipses with center at origin 0, 0 and focus or foci at minus 3 and 3 on the x-axis. You can see there is one parameter in this equation b, and by varying that parameter we can find multiple ellipses with these properties, that is center at origin and focuses minus 3 and 3 on the x-axis. Problem 2. Now we have to draw the family of curves for all the circles with centers on the cubic parabola y equal to x cube and passing through the origin 0, 0. So let us look at the diagram. You can see here the circle C1 passes through the origin 0, 0 and has center on this cubic parabola, which is y equal to x cube. Similarly, C2 also passes through the origin and its center is on the cubic parabola y equal to x cube. So we want to find the equation, the general equation of the family of curves which have two properties. One of the properties is it should pass through the origin 0, 0 and its center should be on the cubic parabola y equal to x cube. So now first we will write general equation of a circle. So this is the general equation of a circle with center at h, k and radius r. So the equation is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square equal to r square. So from this equation we are going to derive the general equation of the family of curves. Now since the center of the circles will be on the cubic parabola y equal to x cube, let us take any point on the cubic parabola. The x coordinate if it is c, then the y coordinate will be c cube, because you can see here, if we plug in x equal to c, then y will be c cube. So any point on the cubic parabola will be of the form c comma c cube, and the distance of that point from the origin can be calculated. In the two-dimensional plane, we know the distance between 2 points a comma b and c comma d can be calculated by the formula the absolute value of square root of difference between the x coordinates a and c squared plus difference between the y coordinates b and d squared. So this is the formula for distance between 2 points a comma b and c comma d in the two-dimensional plane. So if one of the points is 0 comma 0 and the other point is c comma c cube, then the distance between them will be c minus 0 square plus c cube minus 0 square root and its absolute value, and that distance will be the radius of the circle. You can see if this point is the center of the circle, then the distance from that point to the origin through which the circle passes is the radius of the circle. So we can write distance between c comma c cube and origin 0 comma 0 is c square plus c to the power 6, its absolute value. Now we have a random point on the x and y plane and its distance from the origin. So we can put those values in this general equation, that is, we can put h equal to this x coordinate c and k equal to this y coordinate c cube, which are the coordinates of the center, and this is the radius. So we can put this value in place of r and we can rewrite this equation as follows. You can see this term is r square and this was the radius. So the square and this square root term, they cancel out, and we have c square plus c to the power 6 on the right hand side. And now we can see that this equation has a x term, a y term and various c terms. So this has 3 terms x, y and c. So this is in the similar form gxy is equal to 0. We just have to rearrange this equation. Now by rearranging, we can write the left hand side as x square plus c square minus 2x c plus y square plus c to the power 6 minus 2y c cube equal to c square plus c to the power 6. This term is c square. So this c square and c to the power 6 terms cancel from the left and the right hand side, and this can again be written as x square plus y square minus 2xc minus 2y c cube equal to 0, and this is the desired equation in gxyc equal to 0 form. So this is the implicit equation of the family of circles with centers on the cubic parabola y equal to x cube and passing through the origin 0 comma 0. Now let us review how we found this again. So we took any point on the cubic parabola and denoted that as c comma c cube, because the x coordinate, if it is c, for any point on the cubic parabola, its corresponding y coordinate will be c cube. As you can see, if we put c in place of x, then y will be c cube. Then we found the distance of that point from the origin, because we know that the circle passes through the origin. The distance from the center to the origin will be radius of that circle as the circle passes through the origin. So we found the radius by the distance formula, which was c square plus c to the power 6 square root, its absolute value. Then we put the h and k, which are the center coordinates, and radius r in the general form of circle with center hk and radius r, and by simplifying that equation, we found the parametric equation, the one parameter equation of circles with center on the cubic parabola y equal to x cube and passing through the origin 0 comma 0. Now let us plot the circles using SageMath. So in SageMath, we'll write this program to plot the circles. Let me explain the code. First, we have defined the variable x and y. Then in this command, we have plotted the y equal to x cube, the cubic parabola. So we wrote plot equal to x cube and plotted this cubic parabola in x range minus 50 to 50 and y range minus 50 to 50, and we have taken the color red for the parabola. Then we have written the implicit plot command for the gxyc term, which is x square plus y square minus 2xc minus 2yc cube. You can see x square plus y square minus 2cx minus 2yc cube. We have written the gxyc term. Then we have defined the same x and y range as above, x minus 50 to 50, y minus 50 to 50, and we have written access equal to true to show the access. And this is the circle, and we have written the for loop which will put various values of c starting from 2 till 3 with increments of 0.2. That means first it will take 2, then it will take 2.2 equal to c, then it will take 2.4 as c, then it will take 2.6 as c, then it will take 2.8 as c. It will not include 3. It will start from 3 and up to 3 with increment of 0.2. Use the values of c to plot various circles with the corresponding values of c. In each iteration, the value of c will be inserted in this equation and that corresponding circle will be plotted. In the next sentence, we have plotted the center of the circle. You can see from here the center of the circle was c comma c cube. So here we have written c comma c cube as the center. Again, in each iteration, corresponding value of c of that iteration will be used to plot the point. We have just written size equal to 15 to show the center of the circle prominently, and we have considered the color black for the center. The circle will be plotted by the default color blue, the cubic parabola will be plotted by red, and the center will be plotted by black. Now we have added the circle, the center, and the cubic parabola, and in each iteration the values will be added together, and in the final iteration the variable a will hold all the circles, the family of circles starting from 2 till 3, not including 3, the cubic parabola and the corresponding centers. So now if we press evaluate, those all graphs will be plotted. You can see here the cubic parabola is in color red. The circles are all passing through the origin 0, 0. Its center are shown in black color, which are on the cubic parabola. So all our conditions are satisfied. So this is the general equation of family of circles passing through origin and with centers on the cubic parabola y equal to x cube. Question 3. Now we have to draw the family of curves for catenaries obtained by translating the catenary y equal to cos hyperbolic x in the direction of the straight line y equal to x. Now let us look at this diagram to understand the basics of how to translate a function or a curve or a graph in the x and y two-dimensional coordinate system. So let us consider this original curve f of x and understand what will happen to the equation of the original curve if we translate this curve in the positive x-axis direction. So this red curve shows the translation of the original curve in the x direction only. So if we shift the original black curve y equal to f of x in the x direction, then the f of x curve will become f of x minus a. This we can get by putting x minus a in place of x in the original equation of the function. So from this we learn point A that shifting or translating a function y equal to f of x by a amount in the positive x direction gives us the function f of x minus a. Here I will give you a tip that you can get the equation of the shifted function by replacing x minus a in place of x. So just replace x in the original equation by x minus a and you will get the equation of the shifted function by a amount in the positive x direction. Now what about shifting a function in the positive y direction. Similarly, shifting a function f of x in the positive y direction gives us the function f of x plus a. So the original function plus a. In the x direction, we subtracted a from the x terms in the function. While shifting y direction, we add a to the entire function. So we have point B, that shifting or translating y equal to f of x by a in the positive y direction gives us the function f of x plus a. Here another tip I will give you, that just replace y with y minus a in the function and you will get the result. Let us see how to do it. So we have y equal to f of x, and for shifting it in the positive y direction we will replace y minus a in place of y. So that will give us y minus a equal to f of x, which implies y equal to f of x plus a, which I have shown you here. So shifting in x direction we can get by replacing x minus a in place of x, and shifting in y direction we can get by replacing y minus a in place of y. These two tips you can remember for translating any function in the x and y direction. What about if we translate in both x and y direction? So let us say we will translate a function a amount in x direction and b amount in y direction. Then in that case we will replace x with x minus a because we are shifting it a amount in the x direction, and y with y minus b because we are shifting it in the y direction. So if the original function was y equal to f of x and we shift it a amount in the x direction and b amount in the y direction, then the resulting function will be y minus b because we are writing y minus b in place of y and equal to f of x minus a. So this implies y equal to f of x minus a plus b. So this is the new function which has been translated a amount in the x direction and b in the y direction. So with this theory in mind, the question is asking us, translate the catenary y equal to cos hx in the direction of the straight line y equal to x. So the given function is y equal to cos hyperbolic x, and we are going to translate this function in the direction of the straight line y equal to x. So this is the xy plane and this is the straight line y equal to x. If we compare this straight line y equal to x with general equation of straight line y equal to mx plus c, then we see here c equal to 0, that means y intercept is 0, that is why it is passing through the origin, and m is 1, that means the slope is 1, that means this angle is 45 degrees, which means it is equally inclined with the x and the y axis. So let us consider a point on the straight line. If the x coordinate is a, then the y coordinate will also be a because y equal to x for the straight line. So graph of cos hyperbolic x is something like this, and shifting it or translating it in the y equal to x direction means shifting it a amount in the x direction and a amount in the y direction because that is the direction of the straight line y equal to x. So it will be shifted first a amount in the x direction, then shifted, that is a amount in the x direction, then shifted above in the y direction by a amount. So the final graph will be something like this. So shifting it in the y equal to x direction means shifting it by a amount in the x direction and a amount in the y direction. So we have understood from above, for shifting it in the a direction we will put x minus a in place of x and y minus a in place of y because we are shifting it a amount both in the x and the y direction. So the resulting equation will be y minus a equal to cos hyperbolic x minus a. So this is the translated function. Now we will manipulate the terms of the equation to express it in the form of gxyc equal to 0. So that will be y minus a minus cos hyperbolic x minus a equal to 0, and this is the desired equation. So we have the equation of the catenary which is shifted by a amount in the x direction and a amount in the y direction, and by replacing various values of a we can get the family of catenaries in the direction of the straight line y equal to x. So let us plot the catenaries and see how they look and if they are actually shifted or not. So we will go to SageMath to plot them. In SageMath, we will write this program to plot the catenaries, family of catenaries. Let me explain the program. First line, we have defined the x and y variables. In the second line, we have plotted the y equal to x straight line. We don't need to write y, we just have to write the f of x part in y equal to f of x function. So we are writing x, and x range we have defined from minus 20 to 20, y range from minus 20 to 20, and we are plotting that straight line in red color. Then we have written the original function which was y equal to f of x. Now the difference between this plot and implicit plot command is the plot command plots a function y equal to f of x, and the implicit plot command plots an implicit function in the form gxyc equal to 0 or g of xy equal to 0. So you can see here we have only written the f of x part of y equal to f of x, an explicit function, and here we have written implicit function part, that is y minus cos hx, and the right hand side equal to 0 part we don't have to write. Then we have defined the x and the y range. You can see there is a difference of syntax. This is the syntax: x mean x max, y mean y max for explicit functions, and this is the syntax for implicit functions. Then we have written axis equal to true to show the axis. Then we have written color equal to green because we want to show the original function y equal to cos hyperbolic x in green color. Then we have written the translated function which is y minus c minus cos hyperbolic x minus c, this left hand side y minus a cos hyperbolic x minus a, and given the x and y range, and we have assigned it to a variable translated function. Then we added the translated function with a variable, and a variable holds the line y equal to x and the original function in green color which was y equal to cos hyperbolic x. We added them together, and then we have written a dot plot which will plot the line, the original function, and the translated functions. So let us see how it looks. Here you can see this is the line, and in its direction we are translating the catenary. The original catenary was in the green color, and these blue ones are translated in the y equal to x direction. For problems 4 to 10, the statement of the problem reads: sketch or graph some of the given curves. Guess what their OTs may look like. Find these OTs. For problem 4, the equation of the family of curves is y equal to x square plus c. We know that y equal to x square is a equation of a parabola, and by adding the constant c we are shifting the parabolas up and down in the y-axis. With positive values of c, the parabolas will be shifted upwards, and with negative values of c, the parabolas will be shifted downwards. Y equal to x square are parabolas which are open upwards and have their axis as the y-axis. So let us see what the graphs would look like. By using SageMath, I have already drawn the graphs of the family of curves, this family of curves. We can see that these parabolas, they open upwards and their axis is the y-axis. and these various parabolas are for various values of c. Now we know the orthogonal trajectories will intersect the original family of curves at 90 degrees. So first let us draw what the orthogonal trajectories might look like. So let us take a random point. Let us take this point. At this point, the orthogonal trajectory will intersect the curve at 90 degrees. So like this. Also, at this point, with the second curve, it will intersect at 90 degrees. With the third also. And like that, it will intersect all the curves of the family at 90 degrees. Similarly, let us take another point, this point. This is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees. And like this. And something like this, so that at each point of intersection of the red line with the blue line, the angle of intersection would be 90 degrees. Same concept in the negative side of the x-axis also. So it might look something like this, and like this, something like this. So the orthogonal trajectories might look something like this. After finding these orthogonal trajectories, at the end we will graph both the original family of curves and the orthogonal trajectories to see what they actually look like. So let us solve the given equation. We've been given a family of curves. First we have to find the corresponding differential equation. For that we will differentiate the given family of curves, and from this we can write y dash equal to 2x, and this is the ODE of this family of curves. One important thing you have to remember, that after you find the ODE, you have to verify that you have eliminated this C constant. This ODE should not have this C in it. So our first goal is to find the ODE for which the original equation, this equation was a general solution. So if we solve this ODE, we will get this equation as its general solution. And second thing you have to remember is you have to eliminate C from the ODE. Now we have got the ODE of the original family of curves. So let us find the ODE of the orthogonal trajectories. So differential equation of the OTs are y tilde dash equal to, if this is f of x, so this ODE is in the form y equal to f of x. We have to write y tilde equal to 1 by f of x y tilde. So this is actually f of x comma y. So we will write minus 1 by 2x. Just remember, whatever the f of x you get here, f of x or f of xy, just put a negative sign and take an inverse of it. So minus 1 by 2x. So this is the differential equation of the orthogonal trajectories. So now we will solve it to get our corresponding orthogonal trajectories. So left hand side can be written as dy tilde, and right hand side we can take the dx to the right hand side. So this is minus 1 by 2 dx by x. We see that we have separated the variables y tilde and x. This right hand side we can integrate both sides, and the right hand side can be written as minus half natural log absolute value of x plus constant of integration, let us say c1. We are writing absolute value of x here because the inside term of natural log cannot be negative. So the left hand side is y tilde equal to natural log c divided by square root of x. And this is the family of the OTs, orthogonal trajectories. Remember one thing, this c and this c are different. Let us write this as c2 to differentiate them. So these are the family of orthogonal trajectories. Now let us graph them using SageMath. In previous problems, problem number 1, 2 and 3, I have already shown you how to plot family of curves using SageMath. Same concept is being used here. This first snippet plots the original family of curves, which is y minus x square minus c, the implicit form of the given family of curves. And this second snippet of code, this plots the orthogonal trajectories, which is y minus natural log c by square root of x, the orthogonal trajectory equation that we got in implicit form. And by clicking evaluate, we can plot both of the curves in a single graph. You can see in here, these blue lines are the original family of curves, and these red lines that intersect the blue lines at 90 degrees are the orthogonal trajectories. You can see at each point of intersection of the blue lines with the red lines, the angle of intersection is 90 degrees, and that is what orthogonal trajectories are. The orthogonal trajectories, they intersect with the original family of curves at 90 degrees. Any point of intersection you consider, such as this one, you can see that the blue line and the red line, they intersect at 90 degrees. Problem 5. The family of curves given is y equal to cx, and we have to find the orthogonal trajectories to these family of curves. So we know that y equal to cx are straight lines passing through the origin. And while discussing the theory of this chapter at the beginning of the video, we have already discussed that for circles, the orthogonal trajectories are straight lines which pass through the center of the circles. So vice versa will also be true. So that means for the straight lines, circles will be orthogonal trajectories. Let me tell you an important fact. For the set of curves or family of curves g, x, y, c equal to 0, if the orthogonal trajectory is k, x, y, c equal to 0, then vice versa is also true. That means for k, the orthogonal trajectory is gxyc equal to 0. Because for example, let us say one of the curves of g is like this, let us say g1, and one of the curves of k is like this, k1, then the tangent of g1 is perpendicular to the tangent of k1. That is the condition for orthogonal trajectories. Then in that case, reverse is also true. The tangent of k1 is also perpendicular to the tangent of g1. So in that case, if the family of curves k is orthogonal to the family of curves g, then the reverse is also true. So during discussing the theory, we have already discussed that the straight lines are orthogonal to the circles. So that means circles are also orthogonal to straight lines. So we expect that the orthogonal trajectories of these straight lines would come out to be circles. Let us solve the problem and see what happens. So the given is y equal to cx, which implies y dash equal to c. So we have found the slope, but this is not a acceptable ODE because as we have discussed, we have to eliminate the constant c. So to eliminate the constant c, we will take help of this equation, the original family of curves, and from here we can write c equal to y by x. So this value of c we can plug in here and we can write this again as y dash equal to y by x. And now this is a acceptable ODE. Remember, just taking the derivative and finding y dash is not enough. You have to eliminate the constant c. So now we have eliminated c from here. Now the next step is we have to find y tilde dash, which is equal to 1 by minus f of xy. This is in the form of y equal to f of xy. You see, the right hand side term has both x and y in this case. In the first problem, there was only x term on the right hand side. Anyway, we will just inverse it and take a negative symbol. So this will be minus x by y. Just take inverse of it and attach a negative symbol to it. Now, as we have discussed in the theory, we are not going to use y for the orthogonal trajectories. We are going to use y tilde. So here it will be y tilde and here also it will be y tilde. So these are the ODE for orthogonal trajectories. Now let us solve the ODE. So we have dy tilde multiplied by y tilde equal to minus x dx. Now we can integrate both sides. So the first left hand side term would be y tilde square by 2, and the right hand side can be written as x square by 2 plus constant of integration, let us say c1, and now this implies y tilde square plus x square equal to 2 c1, which let us write this as c2. We are writing it c2 because we want to differentiate this c from the original c in the given family of curves. So now we have x square plus y tilde square equal to c2, and we know that this is family of circles with center at origin. So we found the same thing that we found during discussing the theory. For a family of circles with center at origin, the orthogonal trajectories are straight lines passing through origin. In the same way, for straight lines passing through origin, the orthogonal trajectories are the family of circles with center at origin. It works both ways. Now let us plot the equations of the given family of curves and the orthogonal trajectories using Sage Math. So this line of code will help us do that. It is the same program as the previous problem. Here we have written y minus cx, this given family of curves in implicit form, and at the bottom we have written x square plus y square minus c, the implicit equation for a family of circles. And now let us click evaluate to plot the graphs. Here you can see that the blue lines are straight lines passing through origin, and the red lines are the orthogonal trajectories and the circles which have center at origin. And we can see that the intersection points of the blue lines with the red lines are at right angles. All the intersection points of any blue line with any red circle, any intersection point we find in this graph, all the intersections are at right angles. Problem 6. The family of curves given is xy equal to c. This is the family of rectangular hyperbolas with asymptotes as x and y axis. Let's look at what the graph of this hyperbola looks like. In the xy plane, the hyperbola looks like this for c greater than 0. So for c greater than 0, this is the shape of the hyperbola, and for various values of c, various curves like this can be drawn, and for c negative, this is the shape of the hyperbola. This is for c less than 0. Now we have to find the orthogonal trajectories for these hyperbolas. So for that we will differentiate this equation both sides, and we will write d by dx of xy equal to right hand side is 0 because c is a constant. We have differentiated it with respect to x to obtain dy by dx or y dash. So now we will use the product rule of differentiation, which is x dy by dx or y dash plus y dx by dx is 1 equal to 0, and this implies y dash equal to minus y by x. So y dash is minus y by x, and this is the ODE corresponding to the equation given to us, the equation of the family of rectangular hyperbolas. So to obtain the orthogonal trajectories, we will write y tilde dash equal to 1 by this minus y by x, which is x by y. We have taken negative of this and took an inverse of this, so that is x by y. And now this is the ODE of the orthogonal trajectories, and we can solve this ODE to obtain the general solution, which will be the equation for the family of the orthogonal trajectories. So we can write y tilde dy tilde will be equal to x dx. Now we will integrate both sides and simplify this equation to write y tilde square minus x square equal to constant. Let us take it as c1 and rewrite this equation as y tilde square minus x square minus c1 equal to 0. This is the desired equation we have for the orthogonal trajectories. Now, from basic two-dimensional coordinate geometry, we know this is an equation of a hyperbola y square minus x square equal to c1. This is an equation of a hyperbola, and since the constant terms multiplied by x and y are equal, that means this is a rectangular hyperbola, and this rectangular hyperbola has different asymptotes than the first hyperbola. This rectangular hyperbola has asymptotes as two straight lines which are y equal to x and y equal to minus x. So this is an equation of rectangular hyperbola with asymptotes y equal to x and y equal to minus x. Asymptotes are tangents to a given set of curves at infinity, and if for a hyperbola the two asymptotes are perpendicular to each other, then those hyperbolas are called rectangular hyperbolas. Here for xy equal to c, we can see that the asymptotes are x and y axis. This x axis is tangential to the hyperbola at plus infinity and minus infinity. Similarly, the y axis is tangential to the hyperbola at plus and minus infinity. And these two asymptotes, that are x and y axis, are perpendicular to each other. So that is why this hyperbola is called a rectangular hyperbola. Similarly, in this case, the two asymptotes are y equal to x and y equal to minus x, and these two straight lines are perpendicular to each other. So that is why this is a rectangular hyperbola. Let us plot the graphs of these two family of curves and see what they look like. This program will plot the original family of curves and the orthogonal trajectories. This first for loop will plot the curve xy minus c equal to 0 or xy equal to c for various values of c starting from minus 10 till 10 but not including 10 with increment of 2. And this second set of code inside the for loop will plot x square minus y square minus c equal to 0 for the same range of c. And we can see here that the first set of graphs will be in blue color, that is the default color, and the second set of graphs, which are the orthogonal trajectories, will be in red color. Similar logic as previous problems have been used to write this code. So if we press evaluate now, the original family of curves and the orthogonal trajectories will be plotted in different colors. These blue ones are graph for xy equal to c for various values of c. For positive values of c, this plus x plus y direction and minus x minus y direction, these two quadrants are for positive values of c, and these two quadrants are for negative values of c for xy equal to c. And these red lines are for orthogonal trajectories. We can see for the blue lines, x and y axis are tangents to the blue lines at infinity. So these are the asymptotes, and those asymptotes are perpendicular to each other. Similarly, red hyperbolas, you can see this one is y equal to x and this straight line is y equal to minus x, and those lines are tangential to the hyperbola at infinity. So those are the asymptotes to the orthogonal trajectories, and those are also perpendicular to each other. And at every point of intersection of the red lines with the blue lines, you can see the angle of intersection is 90 degrees. Problem 7. The given family of curves is y equal to c by x square. Similar to the previous problems, let us first find the corresponding ODE. So this implies y dash equal to c x to the power minus 2's derivative, which is minus 2 x to the power minus 3, and this is equal to, now we have to eliminate c from here, because as we have discussed, we have to find the ODE without the constant present. So we have to eliminate the constant c, and from here we can write c equal to y x square, and we will plug this value of c in here, and it can be written as y dash equal to y x square whole into minus 2 x to the power minus 3, and this implies y dash equal to minus 2 y x to the power minus 1, which is equal to minus 2 y by x, and this is the ODE corresponding to the given equation or given family of curves. So this is the ODE of y equal to c by x square. That means by solving this ODE, we can get the original equation that was given in the question. So now let us write the ODE or differential equation of the orthogonal trajectories from this. So the differential equation of OT will be y tilde dash equal to minus 1 by f of xy, which is equal to x by 2y. The same thing, we have inversed this, which becomes x by minus 2y, then take negative, which is x by 2y or x by 2y tilde. Here it will be f of xy tilde. So now we have the differential equation of the orthogonal trajectories, and let us solve them now. So it will be y tilde dy tilde equal to half x dx. Now we will integrate both sides, and this implies y tilde square by 2 equal to x square by 4 plus constant of integration, let us say c1. This implies y tilde square minus x square by 2 minus c2 equal to 0. And this is the equation for the family of orthogonal trajectories to the given equation. You can see here that the coefficient of y square is 1, whereas the coefficient of x square is half. So although this is a hyperbola, but this is not an rectangular hyperbola. While plotting the equation, we will see that. So let us now go to Sage Math and plot the family of given curves and its orthogonal trajectories. This program will plot the family of curves corresponding to the given equation, which is y minus c by x square equal to 0, and its orthogonal trajectories, which we found to be as y square minus half x square minus c equal to 0. The blue lines are the graphs of the family of curves corresponding to the given equation, which is y equal to c by x square, and the red lines are its orthogonal trajectories. You can see the asymptotes for the hyperbolas in this case are not perpendicular to each other. So these are not rectangular hyperbolas, and at intersection of red and blue lines, you can see the angle of intersection is 90 degrees. Problem 8. The ODE given is y equal to square root of x plus c. The right hand side can be written as x plus c to the power 1 by 2. This implies y dash will be equal to half x plus c to the power minus 1 by 2 multiplied by derivative of x plus c, which is 1, and this is from the chain rule of derivatives. Now Here we have to eliminate this c, and we know that x plus c to the power 1 by 2 is y. So x plus c to the power minus 1 by 2 is y to the power minus 1. So this is half y to the power minus 1. And from here we can write y dash equal to 1 by 2y, and this is the ODE of the given equation, that is y equal to square root of x plus c. That means if we solve this ODE, we will get this equation that was given in the question. So now the differential equation of the OTs will be y tilde dash will be equal to minus 2 y tilde, which is the inverse of this 1 by 2y with a negative symbol attached to it. Now let us solve this differential equation to get the family of orthogonal trajectories. So this will be dy tilde by y tilde equal to minus 2 dx. We integrate both sides and we obtain natural log of y tilde equal to minus 2x plus constant of integration c, and from here let us take this as c1, and from here we can write y tilde equal to c2 e to the power minus 2x, and this is the equation of the family of orthogonal trajectories. So these are the OTs. Now let us plot the given family of curves and the family of orthogonal trajectories using SageMath. This program will help us plot the given family of equations, which is y equal to square root of c plus x, or as we have written here in implicit form, y square minus c plus x equal to 0, because this can also be written as y square minus c plus x equal to 0 in implicit form, and this equation in implicit form can be written as, that is the orthogonal trajectories, as y tilde minus c e to the power minus 2x equal to 0. So we have written that in here, y minus c e to the power minus 2x, and the logic from the previous problems applies here also. So we have taken some ranges of c, some x and y ranges, and now we are going to plot both of the family of curves. The original family of curves are given in blue because we have not specified any color here. So the default color is blue, and for the orthogonal trajectories we have specified the color red. So these red ones are the family of orthogonal trajectories, and these blue lines, these curves, are for the original family of curves. And we can see at intersection points of the red and blue lines, the angle of intersection is 90 degrees.